Hey everyone, this is Tara with Tara's Take. Welcome back to my channel. If you're a first-time viewer, welcome to Tara's Take. I appreciate you stopping by. So I hope everybody had an amazing Christmas yesterday. It's Monday and it's time to do mask make. So I was working on this weekend, and this last week I was playing with the idea of doing like a double journaling pocket. Actually, it's a triple journaling area, okay, and then a pocket, two pockets here on the inside, and then you have it's like a little booklet, you know. So let's get going on these. So all you're going to need is a selection of paper, and you can use different sizes. I think probably medium weight is the best weight for this. Super lightweight is probably too light, and super thick might be a little more difficult. I mean, I'm sure it would work, but I'm thinking more of a midway, you know, grade of paper would probably be for the best. I've just brought along some of my Roses in Bloom kit. I want to do these, a couple of them for a design team project I have coming up with Lena again for Valentine's Day. So you're going to need your glue, some scissors, a bone folder if you have it. If not, use your scissor handles, and some things to decorate with, of course. I'm looking here for my bone folder. I was working with it earlier and now I can't see it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, and that's really all you're going to need. And then if you want to decorate one, or if you want to do some decorating on it with me, you'll need a few things to do that with, okay? So first of all, I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to just have the one here. Now, I really love this metallic type satiny paper. I get it at Hobby Lobby, and I thought it would be perfect for a Valentine's journal. So yeah, we're going to do something with this piece first. So all you're going to do is hold it horizontally, and you're going to kind of fold your paper in, and you know that middle thing we do. But what I want to point out here is when you're looking at this, you're going to want the inside paper, this piece, to have a little space, okay? So when you fold this down, I want mine to go to the end, but I also don't want the two pieces meeting, okay? So I'm kind of giving that a little leeway there. So that means I'm going to probably want to do a little trimming on the side when I'm done, possibly. Okay, so when I fold this down, I just want to make sure that I am not folding it over so far that this doesn't have room to close. That's my point. Okay, so if you can see here where I've creased this to go and meet this edge, I still have about, you know, 1/8 of an inch or so, probably even less, but it's enough to let it close, you know, and I want that. So you, of course, it's not mandatory. You do not have to have it, you know, going to that end. That's just what I'm preferring. Okay, so we're just folding that into a third, so we have our little trifold. Okay, so see how I guess I left it, you know, about 1/4 or 1/8. Yeah, so but this side is meeting nicely. Now all I'm going to do is decide how tall or short I want my pocket. I'm going to go up about 2.5 inches and fold that nice and straight across. Okay. All right. Now, what you're going to want to do is we're going to be cutting this away and this away. Okay. Now, if you look in the prototype I did, you can see that there is some space here in this pocket. It's not like really slammed up against, and that is because when I cut this, I didn't cut it on this crease. Okay, I cut it just a little bit out because when I fold this in, I'm going to be trimming inward just a little bit so that this piece will have a hinge or a flap. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me make sure I'm in the frame here. So I'm going to give it about a 1/2 inch, okay, and come up. And then what I'm going to do is trim along this edge. And I've mentioned this to you guys before. I try to get it straight and flatten it out, back out again, because it's easier to follow that line if you flatten that piece that you've folded out. Now I'm going to go past where I cut there, okay? And I'm going to go in just a hair on this fold. And you'll see why in a second. So it's not lined up perfectly with that line. It's just past it, okay? Now, we're going to do about a 1/2 inch on this side, okay? Up to that line. I'm going to kind of flatten that line out so I can cut across there. Make it nice and even. And like I said before, when I go in, I'm going to cut just past that line, okay? And I'm going to keep these because one of them I'm going to use for a pocket on mine. Now, when you fold this up, what you're going to have is, because you cut just past it, you're going to be able to fold this over just a little touch more, okay? And you'll see why in just a second. Because this will allow this to close, okay? When you fold this up and you glue your pocket down, you're going to have space for this to also close comfortably, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and smush that down. So if you look close, I went just beyond the cut or the line here of this fold, okay? And again, on this side, I went just beyond it, and I'm going to fold. Let me bring this in just a little closer for you. Okay, now when I fold it down, I'm going to press it to pass where I had that cut. And that extra fold line is going to be hidden inside when we glue it anyway. But when you do this now, see, you've got some space right here and right here. That way everything closes nice and comfortably and it doesn't get stuck. Okay, so that's what we're doing. And then all you're going to do now is glue this shut. Oopsie, I went too, my glue's running really good right now, yay. A little too good. Okay, and then I'm going to do it again up here. And I'm just using art glitter glue. You can use any kind you like. Okay. And now we have a pocket that is going to have some room in it. Okay, so see, if you look now, our pocket has a little give. It's not smashed down, okay? All right, now we have our first one. And now what I did with the other paper, but I may have to do something else because it's the same color, like it's all one solid color. What I did earlier was I flipped the piece over and made another pocket right here. But for right now, I'm just going to leave this to the side and I'll figure that out. I'll just probably grab another piece and use it for that. Now this is one of our jelly prints we did, like I think it was my first batch I ever did with you guys months and months ago. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. See, I'm not even sure how even this is cut, to be honest. Okay, so again, I'm going to bring it into that third thing, and then I'm going to make sure that when I fold this down, I have space on the inside, and this is coming down to my edge like I want. Like I said, doesn't have to be, you could have it folded so that it's back this way, you know, so you have room. It's totally up to you. This is just how I'm wanting it to look. Okay, so go ahead and get that down. And this one. Okay. These have been sitting in my drawer for all these months and I never used them, my jelly prints. And yeah, I was excited. I was like, oh, I could use it for this. I hadn't really known what I was going to use it toward. Now, obviously, I am a little bit uneven here. Yeah, so we're going to trim that off and trim off my edge. And you can use any size paper here. But I do think that like the, more of a rectangular shape is better for this. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and bring this up and make myself a little pocket. Okay. And I'm seeing how uneven my piece of paper really is the more I work with it. That's funny. Well, I don't know if you guys, if you've never watched me with jelly print, but when I do jelly print, the part on the outside that doesn't get any paint on or anything, I trim it all off. And I just kind of cut it. I don't, of course, I don't measure it or anything. So yeah, so now I'm sitting here going, okay, we got a little bit of fixing here to do. That's all right. Okay. Bear with me for a minute. So technically it is Saturday for me, so I have not opened my my 2 Christmas gifts that are under the tree, or I would be telling you about them. But I probably will be telling you about them in tomorrow's video or the following day, depending on when I record Tuesday's video. So I will get back to you on what else I got for Christmas. So again, now we're going to come from the bottom, remember, and go up to that line, about a 1/2 inch over, just so, whatever size you want your hinge to be. If you wanted it to be bigger, you could. That's how big I want mine. And I don't know if I ever explained this right, but whenever I try to cut on a folded piece, I always go beyond one side or the other. When I flatten that out and I just have that line to follow, then it seems like I kind of do better. So that's what I'm talking about when I say get on that fold and flatten it and then cut it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I hope so. So there's my little snip. And like I said, I'm going just a hair's breadth over so I can make that fold a little more comfortable for me later on when I'm closing this little booklet up. So this is just basically, I guess what I'm calling it is a journaling pocket, journaling page pocket. So see now, because these two are different, I can use, like on the pocket side, I can use this to make a little pocket, which is what I did on some others that I did. So yeah, just makes it a little nice. With that one, I'll probably use a book page or something with that solid red one. Or I might use a piece of fussy cut from Lena's kit, because I did get my matte photo paper I've been waiting for today, and I printed out the kit. Lena, if you get to see this, and I'm getting it cut and ready and prepared for our next design team project. So that's fun. We're going to dive right into Valentine's, and I believe, I don't want to misquote or say that I am and then change my mind, but as of right now, I cut this a little bit low. As of right now, I'm going to be doing a folio. Okay, so that's the goal. So there's my little pocket. I'm going to glue that in. Okay, so these are really easy. They're not difficult. My glue is jamming up. And I'm really excited, you guys. A little bit nervous at the same time, just because, it's a crafting channel, and, I know how some people are about me sharing my faith. Some people are super encouraging. Others, not as much. But that's okay. But this coming year, I have decided that I am going to start doing, on each video, I am going to start doing a very small but significant devotion with you guys. So it'll be out of different books, such as this one I have here is one of them, Be Still and Know. It'll be a scripture and then a reading and then a small prayer afterwards. And that's just something I really feel the Lord's laying on my heart. I really, really, really want to share the gospel, and this channel, as I've told you before, I consider it to be a gift from Him, and I want it to bring Him glory. Otherwise, I don't want to do it. And I feel like lately I have been more focused on crafting, and technically I haven't been. It's just, it's just been the way the videos have gone. And I told the Lord, I said, I really, really want to bring it, back to having it be about you and about what you have done in my life. And so, yeah. So I cut that one. It's still uneven, and there's nothing I can do about that. So it's just too bad. Oh well. So sad. We'll figure it out. But anyway, there's that one. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, how you feel about it. I am stoked and excited to share thoughts with you and devotions with you, and prayerfully, praise God, speak something into all of our lives, from what the Lord brings us that day. I think it'll be a blessing. I know the Lord will bless it. So yeah. Okay. All right. I am going to bring that one over just a hair, because I think, yeah, I'm good. Okay. This is another one I cut by hand, guys, so it might look a little uneven. I don't know yet. But it's another piece of paper I've been wanting to use and haven't, and so, yeah. Okay. So those devotions, going back to that real quick, those are going to be a daily devotion that has like a different short devotion each day. And I have a few different books that cover that. So yeah, so it could be something from like the book I showed you. It could be something from Beth Moore. It could be something from Joyce Meyer. Just whoever I feel led that day to share from. So anyway, okay. So Cordy is taking a nap right now. I did make us an early Christmas dinner. I don't usually cook for Christmas, but my honey had said that he'd love to have a ham. So for the first time making a ham, I did not use my own recipe. I went ahead and followed the glaze. I did their instructions, and I did their glaze and not my own. I usually make my own. It was actually my mommy's. I'm sure many of you do it with pineapples and clove. That was, I grew up doing that. And this time we did a hickory smoked with a brown sugar glaze, and I used the one that came with the ham. And it was very good. It was very good. Cordy absolutely loved it. We did not go out for Christmas Chinese food. Instead, we went out for Chinese food yesterday, because I had mentioned to him, Walmart, because he had told me, oh, I don't want you to have to cook. Don't get a ham. And then yesterday when I got back from the store, I told him, Walmart has hams on sale for $1.50 a pound. Are you sure you don't want to do a ham? And he's like, oh, you know what? Yes, let's do it. So he went to the store and picked up the ham. And I told him, you pick it, because they had two different kinds. They had the honey glazed, and then they had the brown sugar. He chose the brown sugar glazed. And so, yeah, we ended up having our Chinese food yesterday, which was delicious, by the way. If you're ever in Coolidge and you wonder if the Chinese food restaurant has good food, yes, they really do. And it's very, they give good proportioned servings, So, yeah, it was delicious. Enjoyed it a lot. Let's see. Now, this one does not have anything on the inside. So, that's kind of pretty. Let me see something. You can see, can you guys see that? You can like see the roses through the paper, like it impressed upon it or something. It's kind of weird. I want to see something really quick. I'm wondering if this will show up. It is. I think it is, you guys. Look. Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. The rose, like the shape of the roses. Oh, come on, stay over there. That is so fun. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to distress it like this. Instead of putting anything on it, I think I'll just let those flowers shine through a little bit. Yeah. That's really weird. I don't think I've ever seen anything do that. So that's so bizarre. So this is out of the my kit, Roses in Bloom. That's in the Etsy shop. Now this one's going to be more narrow, I'm thinking, because of the height, because it's a square. That's what I was talking about when I told you guys earlier. You'll probably, for the most part, want to use rectangle. I can probably, no, I don't think I can get 2 out of this, can I? I was thinking maybe, but let's see here. Nah, it'll just be the one, which is fine. Actually, I can just make it a bigger pocket. There you go. It's not so bad. Yeah, just made it a bigger pocket. So I'm going to trim it. And go. Oops. I heard from my son today, and then I heard from Shani, my best friend, who's moved to Colorado. So that was nice. Really enjoyed hearing both their voices. I did text with my daughter. I haven't talked to her, but I did text with her. I just sent the kids a little bit of money for their Christmas gifts. I texted my grandson's dad and asked if I could please see my grandson. I haven't heard anything back, so yeah, that's the last few times he's not gotten back to me at all. So I don't think he wants me to see my grandson, which makes me very sad. But I'm not going to be sad because, you know, the Lord is with him and he's taking care of him and all of those wonderful things that I know my Lord is doing. So I'm just going to trust that when the right time, I'm going to do a thumb hole in this one, happens, you know, when it's time, that the Lord will restore our family. There we go. See, you can also do a thumb hole, which is cute. I always forget to do those, you guys. You can do them in like anything. I just happen to forget. So. Oh, that one came out nice. The flower's in a perfect spot. Let's see. So yeah, but my son had good news. You know, I've never shared Joey's full testimony with you guys. Since I've been doing the channel, I've talked about it, I've mentioned sharing it with you guys, and I always said that, you know, when the time comes I will. And there's a few of you who know his story a little bit because I've talked to you personally, but it's kind of a, I don't know, scary thing to talk about, to be honest. But so when my son, I've mentioned to you that when Joey was 16, he was shot, and I don't think I've ever told you the entire story. So he had a friend who they went to church together. I mean, he was a boy from our youth group, and his name was Hyro, and he was a little bit older than Joey, but he was a good kid, and he managed a movie shop. And one night on a Friday, Joey had called me and said, "Mom, can I go spend the night with Hyro at his house?" And I said, "Well, sure." And I'm going to flip this. That's going to make the, you know what, that's going to make the pocket up but it's going to make the rest of it upside down. Sorry, I think the pocket's just going to have to be upside down. Anyway, so he called and said, can I spend the night with Hiro? And I said, yeah. So I went, I got off work, went home. Joey was already gone, and they, or no, he was home. I apologize. They left late because Hiro managed this Hollywood. It was one of the last movie shops in our neighborhood here in Phoenix. And it was a Hollywood video, and he didn't get off work until after midnight. So Joey, he went, after he got off work, he went and picked up some Jack in the Box, and they came back and they ate it at our house, and I was already in bed. It was like midnight, after midnight. And then Joey was going to go, they left to go to Hiro's house. Well, when they left, about probably about 1:30 in the morning, so it's about an hour later, maybe 45 minutes after that. And they called me from the hospital, and they said, we need you to come here, your son is here, and they wouldn't tell me what had happened. So when I got down to the hospital, there were police there, and Hiro was there, and he's the one who ended up telling me what happened, and it was a huge ordeal. But my son had been shot repeatedly, and the only bullets that had entered his body were in his legs. But when you looked at Hiro's mom's car, the whole entire side that Joey was sitting on was riddled with bullets. And the police officer was like, ma'am, God was, the Lord sent an angel, because there's no way. So basically, what had happened was a truck and a car had followed Hiro and Joey. And they had, at one light, they had pitched, because Hiro's mom's car was a brand new Maxima. It was like a 2005 Maxima, and it had a sunroof. And so they had pitched a beer bottle into the sunroof of the car, and Hiro took off at the light and went to the next light. Well, when he got to the next light, a truck pulled up next to him, and the car that had driven by and pitched the beer into the back seat, the bottle of beer had pulled up behind them and kind of blocked them in. And the truck pulled up right next to them and pulled out a Glock 17 and began firing at my son and Hiro. But anyway, and my son, Hiro, said Joey yelled out at him, dude, I think I've been shot in the face. I think I've been shot in the face. And when I got in there, I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. And he was covered in blood, and it was just a really, really, really bad scene. But he was alive, and he was okay. Well, the car, like I said, was completely riddled with bullets, and you could the window and the passenger side was completely gone, shattered. Yeah, there were bullets on the sidebar by the window. There were bullets all through the door. And it turned out he had, they had to remove, I think it was 2 bullets out of his left leg. Or no, it was 2 bullets in his right leg, and then, the others had gone through the leg and through the left leg and out. So, yeah. So anyway, he was in a cast for quite a while, and we ended up moving out of that neighborhood, and I'm trying to make a long story short. But at the hospital, this was the cool thing that I wanted to share, because God is so amazing. At the hospital, I looked at my son. I was standing next to him the next day after surgery and everything. And I go, Joey, what is that on your face? And he goes, I don't know, Ma, it's probably blood. And I go, yeah, but no, there's these marks. Well, across his cheekbone, right across his cheek, on his cheek, directly on his right cheek, were 2 marks that went like this. There was 2 ricochet marks, back to back, almost like parentheses backwards, like that. And they were hitting each other. They were right next to each other. And up on his right temple, same thing. There was a ricochet off his temple, like just a C, a backward C. And then across his, from the bottom of his, or the top of his chin on the right side, all the way up above his lip, okay, onto the left side, was a ricochet, a black mark. So it was bullet resin, okay, where the bullets had hit his face. And the Lord, and I don't ever candy coat this testimony, the Lord had literally flicked these bullets off of my son's face. And I say the Lord because I cleaned these marks off my son's face. I'm the one who did that, and I know what they were because my husband was a gun enthusiast, and I've seen bullet resin from gunshots a lot, you know, so I know that black mark. There was no blood. It was from the bullet. So, you know, basically, my son should have been dead. The enemy, Satan, had tried to take my little boy's life, and the Lord had said no. So if anybody ever wonders why I believe the way that I do, and, you know, that's just one example of what he has done for me. So yeah, that's why I will never be ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, because it is the power of God unto salvation for those who are perishing. And my son, you know, is living proof that the Lord is alive, that he is alive and well and active in our lives today, because Joey shouldn't be here. Joey should have been dead. His whole entire head should have been blown off by these bullets. They were literally from car to car. This young man that did this to him was in a truck right next to him, within a couple of feet. I mean, just right there. And the Lord said, no, it's not Joey's time. And that's not the only time my son has been shot, but that was the one that started everything. And the reason I told you that story was so that you would know a little bit about Joey's background. He was raised in church. He was a very good boy. He had his issues, as all kids do, and especially PK kids, you know, but he was a good kid. And at that point, Joey had never done drugs. He had never gotten in any trouble. You know, he was just a dumb little kid. After that, you know, during the stay in the hospital, they put Joey on morphine, and he had never, ever done any type of drugs before. And so for him, you know, this was a big, huge deal for them to do that. And, you know, he needed medication. He was in a lot of pain. But, you know, the thing that he remembers now, as he tells me about it, is that he remembers that it took away the emotional, not just his physical pain. And that is what started him on a downward spiral through the years of drug addiction. I won't go into the whole tale, but he did give me permission to share his story, because, you know, he's been through a lot of things in his life now. He's 33. He has gone through heroin addiction. He has gone through crystal meth addiction, fentanyl addiction. He was never an alcoholic, praise God. But he, you know, he's had all these issues, you know, that he's dealt with in his life. And now my little boy, you know, he's a man, but he is in prison. He will be out of prison in April of this coming year, praise God. And by God's grace, he was only there for a short while. But while he was there, I'm very proud of him, because he went back to school. He's about to get his HVAC certification. And he also wrote a book about his life. And he wrote it in a fictional sense. But he just today, he called me to tell me Merry Christmas, and he called me to tell me that he finished his book. And when I say he wrote a book, I mean he has written over 900 pages of a book, and he has rewritten it 6 times while being in there now. And so he is, you know, really serious about being published and becoming an author. And, you know, God is so amazing, ladies. And I share this story with you trepidatiously, of course, and I'm sure you know why. Because this is my son's life, and I don't ever want to put him in a position of being vulnerable with anyone. But Joey is very brave, and he said, Mama, you know, God God gave me this story. He gave me this testimony for a reason, just like you have yours, you know. And it's okay that I went through these things, Mama, because I'm gonna help other people. I'm gonna make people aware of what's going on the streets of Phoenix. I'm gonna make them aware of what their, people are doing out there and what's happening to their kids. And so I just want to encourage. I told you this story, I guess, today because it's Christmas. It's going to be the new year. And I wanted you guys to know that the Lord is with you. You are not alone. We celebrate at this time of year his birth. No, it's not his birthday. We don't know when his birthday is exactly. But we have this time set aside where we as believers choose to say, Lord, we welcome you into this life with us. We welcome you into this world. We are glad that God the Father brought you to be our Savior, that he brought you into this life to come and die for our sins and to live a holy and pure life and to give your life for us. Lord, we honor you. That's what today is about, or tomorrow is about. Well, yesterday for you guys, it's tomorrow for me. You know what I'm saying? Christmas. And I just wanted to encourage anyone out there who has children who are going through something and you're praying for your children. Don't stop travailing for your kids. And don't think that God doesn't hear just because it's taking longer than you wish it would. Because he does hear, and he is with you. And your kids are safe in his arms. And I love you guys. So that's my story today. I haven't told you guys a story in a while. And I thought it was time to tell you Joey's. He wanted you guys to know. He told me it was okay. So that's my baby's part of my baby's story. His book is titled Bye Bye Baby Blue. And it's going to be, the author is going to be Joseph Mendoza. And that's my son. And I'm really proud of him. I'm really, really proud of him for this. So I'm gluing this opposite side on as a pocket like I did on that last one you saw me. Or, well, one of them here. Here, this one. Okay. So you can use any paper. You can use tags, stamps, tickets, anything you want. You can use your digipaper, book page. I just thought, this is easy for me because it's here. And readily available for me to use right here. So anyway, so yeah, so if someday when you see a book and it's about, basically it's a fictional, and it's not, and I'm going to tell you, my son, he said, Mama, it's not written for the lighthearted. It's very blunt, it's very true, there is curse words in it, it's real. It's a fictional novel about the life of people out on the streets of Phoenix and the drug addiction and what they're going through and what's happening out there. And I didn't write it as a perfect Christian novel. He goes, I do bring God in it, and I do glorify him, and I do show how he's brought me from darkness to light, but I don't mince words, and I didn't write it for anyone who is going to be offended by the truth of what the world looks like, And he goes, and nothing you say is going to make me change the way I see this. And I said, okay. Because I was like, well, maybe you should tone it down, And he goes, no, Mama, I'm not going to tone it down. He goes, I'm telling people the truth. This is the way it really is out there. And people need to understand this is a reality. Their kids are walking in. He goes, but I was seeing people out there that are, he saw business people out there buying fentanyl on the streets of Phoenix by, driving up on the streets where the homeless live and getting drugs from them. And he said these were business people, wealthy people, rich, driving up in their beautiful cars and, their perfect life and buying drugs from people. So he goes, it's happening in every level of society, and people need to understand that. It's not just the homeless, it's not just the gang members, it's not, he said it's everyone. It's literally happening with everyone. And he said people don't understand the level of drugs that are on the streets of Phoenix. He said it's frightening, and it is completely real. So yeah, so that's my son. He's something else. He's a very honest, genuine person. I'll say that for him. I remember someone one time telling me when they met my son at a family event, they said, Joey's the most genuine person I think I've ever met in my life. And I can honestly say he is. He's just not fake. And I'm super proud of him for doing what he's done, for accomplishing this feat. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, it got to the point the guys in the prison that were in his pod and different pods would bring him composition books to use to write in. He's got so many of them now. Just imagine, he's done over 6 rewrites on this novel. And so yeah, he's got all these composition books, and a lot of them were donated by other prisoners. I mean, because they started reading what he was writing and they couldn't believe how good it was. And he's got like a fan base there. I mean, even some of the guards and the nurses and stuff are, you know, fans of his writing, because they see what, you know, what he's doing and what he's accomplished since he's been there, and they're proud of him. So yeah, I'm extremely proud of my son. And I know that, you know, that might sound weird to anybody who doesn't understand seeing someone come out of that life, but I've come from that life. I didn't ever go to prison, but it wasn't because I didn't do something that could have got me there. It was because it just wasn't, you know, in God's plan for me, and I never got arrested. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's probably the case for a lot of us. And in my son's case, that was just the safest place for him. And that was the place that God was able to get his attention and help him tell his story, his testimony. And that's what this book is his testimony. He said that people there at the prison tell him all the time, you know, I feel like I know you when I see you walk by now. Because Joey's the kind of person who doesn't let people in. Sorry, I'm just grabbing these papers over here. He doesn't necessarily just let people in. He's kind of a private person. And for him to let me tell you this story is a huge, huge deal, because there would have been a time in his life when he'd have been like, Mom, if you share my story, I'll be so mad at you. No, he told me, I'm gonna share it. And so it just shows to me the level of growth that he's experienced. And yeah, be encouraged, parents, because I know there are those of you out there who are listening who have a child in prison, or who have a child addicted to drugs, or who have a child who's, you know, addicted to something, and or who's out there on their own, and maybe you don't even know where they are right now. And you're crying for that child, and your heart is aching and breaking inside. I understand that kind of pain, because before he was in prison, he was on the streets of Phoenix homeless, and I didn't know where my baby was. And I was on my face before God, crying out to the Lord for his life, you know, and I cried out for a lot of years, guys. He's 33. I prayed for a lot of years. So, again, I just can't even say it enough. Take it to Jesus and trust him, because he's listening. He sees your child. He sees where your child is, and he sees your heart. Okay? Don't be discouraged. Be encouraged today, knowing that the Lord hears your prayer, and he let me tell you my story so that you could know that he's there. He's there. He's there. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to do the pocketing, and then I'll decorate one. I think this turned out really cute. This is actually this little card I'm using for a pocket on this one, but this is actually one of the kit pieces of the kit from Lena Narcisi. She is in my Etsy, or she's in my Etsy list, her shop in the About section of my channel. And also, it's Junk Journal Craft. Lena is the name of her Etsy shop and her channel on YouTube. Okay, she makes beautiful, beautiful digitals, and this is just going to be one of the pieces that goes into our I'm pretty sure are folio. So yeah, there we go. There it is. I hope you guys like these. So let's decorate this one. This one's fun. I just think it'd be cute. Let's go for it. And I'm going to go ahead and use, since this one I know for sure is going to go into the kit. My Tippy is walking around the room because it's after 4:30 and she knows it and wants to be fed. She's so funny. She's like, hello, it is time for my dinner. I'm going to take this right here. Lena does the prettiest, I don't know how to explain, like these wallpaper type strips, but I adore them. I keep them in my, I have a bag that's set aside just for my Lena cuts from my different kits that I've gotten from her. And I keep a bag of my, my stored stuff ready with those just because they're so adorable on a page. They look so cute. They just really set it off for me. I love the way they look. So let me try and, there we go. I'm trying to keep this stamp and this little part right here into the picture. There we go. And hopefully, I think this will fit. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? Now I did think I'm going to do something this time that I don't normally do, but I think I'm only going to distress with this kit. I'm thinking I may leave it brighter. I know this is kind of distressed anyway, but on a lot of it, there's white and brightness, and instead of distressing the whole thing, I think I'm just going to focus on the edges. I absolutely never do that. You guys know me. If you've been to my channel, you know that I love to distress everything, and then I like to make it look aged on the picture and all that. But I think there's just something about this kit, and I also have some really pretty cloth that is white. It's a white lacy cloth, and I'm thinking to use that. So instead of darkening this part, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. And I'm looking here really quick. I think I had them somewhere. I had some white. Where is it? I know I had some. Here. Oh, guys, sorry. I pulled on my lace and it almost knocked my phone down. I was thinking that this would be really pretty. And I was right. Look at that. See, I'm going to do some white this time, you guys. I never ever do like solid white. But I think so for the Valentine's. I think it'll be really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And this is going to be my little front decorative piece. Okay. And the reason I said too about this being a journaling space is because I kind of liked using the coffee dyed paper on the inside, and like I did on the prototype, and just creating writing space for them, not filling it with pockets and stuff. But you could totally make this a really interactive little piece and fill it with a bunch of cards and, different things like that. You don't have to do like I did on this one. See, I just kind of liked this. I thought it was cute to just utilize this as a journaling little notebook for them. So that's why I did that. And I think I will do that on this one. So I'll probably keep that type of method with this style for now. Okay, so there's that piece, and then we're gonna put this beautiful, oh, so pretty, my love to you. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? I like a lot. Now let me see, should I, because this is gonna be glued down, so maybe I should do it with that coming out this side, because then that way they can open it without bending this. Because if I put this here, which is kind of where I'd like to have it though, it's going to get bent. You know what I mean? I don't want it to get bent up. I mean, I guess once I get it in the book, I could glue the laces down on the book as well. I don't know. What do you guys think? I do wish I could hear you. I could have it like that and then have it coming out. No, because then on that side it's going to get bent too. Maybe I should do the velvet instead and just do a white line of velvet on the outside. Yeah, I'll use this in there though. I'm going to do that instead. Change of plan. Change of plan. Just spread some of this here. This is the velour lace that, or ribbon that Pam gave me, and I used all the blue in the gift nativity journal. I used the other one completely up. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. So now I guess I'll use the white in this one. Okay. Do I want to do another piece and frame this, or I could do a frame. That would be cute. And do one up the side. That's what I did with the blue. I used it as a frame on everything, and I really liked it. On this one, though, I am going to get some paper real quick here to glue in. And I have this paper that's kind of, should I use that? It's kind of a purplish color. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's just use coffee dyed paper. That's better, right? Yeah, we'll just use the coffee dyed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a frame. So I'm just folding this. Sorry. Am I in camera? Okay, let's pull this back. I hope you guys have been able to see everything. That would stink. I don't like when I do that. I apologize if for any reason you guys couldn't see where I was at with this. Okay. Alright, there's that piece. And I just, like I said, I'm just going to have it framed a little bit like that. I have so much glue on my fingers, I cannot really, like, get my paper to grip. Okay. Now I'm going to do a second. I'm going to do 3 pieces this size because I've got this panel, and this panel. Okay, and then it'll be glued down, like I said, on the other part. Yeah, we had that big piece of ham, and Cordy, I cleaned it off and put the meat in the fridge, you know, and he took the ham bone outside, and we have this dog that just barks and barks and barks around the corner. When he came in, he goes, "Oh, I was thinking I should have just given that bone to that dog. Maybe it would have made him shut up." I said, "Yeah, I doubt it." The only reason I thought of it is because he just started barking. He does that about this time every day. And then he'll bark until, I think they must leave him out until 8 o'clock at night because that's the time he stops barking. So I think that's his go inside time. Okay, and let's see if I can, nope, I'm going to have to do it this way. So yeah, so I like the idea of having these journal panels, and that's why I'm doing them. But like I said, if you guys want to do fun, you know, tags and journal cards inside, like always, like we do on so many things, that would be really cute too. You know, I did this morning, I sat all morning, and it's like I said, it's Christmas Eve today for me. I sat all morning and I created different, and also went on videos and got inspired by a couple of different YouTubers for some ideas. But yeah, I sat and I made prototypes of some stuff to be able to have a few things to make with you guys this week, kind of pre-made, so that I have an idea of what we're going to do. I've been doing better about saving my scraps. So all I used on the inside was my glue stick, because I find that the glue stick sticks just fine for the copies, you know, the copy weight paper, which is what this is. And yeah, so I really should have pulled out a book page, huh? You guys know me, I always forget. I'm really, really, really bad about that. Okay, Now I got to try and avoid getting it in the glue. Okay. So yeah, now you just lay out your little journal page there, spot for them, and they're set on that. And like I said, that the glue stick does really well with the copy weight. It has a harder time holding stuff down if it's slick paper, or it seems to do really well for me with book page and copy paper. Okay, let me grab, because I do have some over here, some book page. Okay, so I'll use that. I have no idea what that is. I was doodling or something. Okay. I'm really glad that I finally shared Joey's story with you. You know, it's been on my heart to share with you guys for a long time, because it's kind of a part of, you know, a lot of what's gone on in the past years. You know, it's been a big impact on all of our lives, my family, and it really, really impacted my daughter a lot. You know, she was 15 when all that happened, and she almost lost her brother, and yeah, it really, really messed with her. And you guys know her story a little bit, so yeah, it was hard. I'm just trimming. I did not do that quite as short as I should on this side, so now the framing is off, but that's all right, because you know what, it just gives them a little extra space. Oh, I really messed that one up. How did I manage to do that quite so bad? Let's see. Oh well, it's just gonna have to dry. It'll be fine. What do I always tell you guys? It's no big deal. You know, it is what it is. It'll work, right? I have no idea what that is. I'm stuck on my, I think I got paint on it or something, on my glue. So yeah, and today, for the very first time, believe it or not, my friend Shannon was shocked. I actually saw The Outsiders. Now, being that I'm an 80s kid, and that was a total 80s movie, yeah, it was a little surprising. But my husband wanted to see the new Christmas Story with Ralphie, you know, the guy who played Ralphie. And so we couldn't get it on any of our channels because it's not free. So he signed up for the 7-day trial with HBO, and that way we could get to see the new Christmas Story. We are not going to keep the HBO. We just wanted to see. And so it had The Outsiders on there. And Cordy was like, have you ever seen that? And I said, no, actually, I haven't. And when Shannon called and I told her what I was watching for the first time, she was freaking out. Because, you know, she's 7 years younger than me. And she's like, seriously? You never saw The Outsiders? I go, I know, never. So now I have. It's official. So again, on this side, I should have measured these by their own panels. So keep that in mind, because this panel is smaller than this front panel. So because I used the front panel, I kind of messed it up a little bit. So now I want to pick something for here, and I want to put, let's see, I want to put one of my pictures. You know how I love my little pictures. Oh, she's cute. Let's see. Do we want a girl, a little girl, or do we want a lady? I don't know. Oh, wait, here we go. I think this one would be better. I'm going to cut this down. Okay, and I didn't go to town, you know, a lot on decorating on this, but I don't think it needs a whole lot. The page will probably have that lace ruffling at the bottom or the side or something, you know, the white one I was looking at using, because there we go. I like her. I'm thinking her dress is clashing a little bit. What do you guys think? Is it the pink? Do we to my eyes. I think I need maybe more of a white, or let's see. These pictures come out of my kit, and I have various ones. I wanted it to match. It's not quite. Oh wait, here we go, maybe. I think that's still too much pink. Yeah. I'm gonna have to use a black and white, I think. There, I think that one's best. I'm gonna use that one. Sorry. Yep, I am. I'm gonna trim all the way. I'm gonna cut these boards off and just have it be her face and her hat. Okay. Because also it was too big for up here. There we go. I'm almost done, Tippy, with my video, and then I'll feed you. She's pacing. She wants her food, and she wants it now. her feeding time is earlier, and I went past it. She gets very unhappy with me when I do that. She's so funny. She doesn't make a peep for the most of the day, you know. If she needs to eat or go to the bathroom, she will definitely let you know that she's there. You should have seen her when we were eating ham. It was so funny, you guys. She was all over the place, pacing and wanting us to throw her scraps, and, you know, so cute. Let's see. Do I have a different color? I have... Ah, here we go. This one's nice. Memories. I'm going to cut this down. I don't think I ever stuck this kit in my shop. I think I just made it and used it myself. It's words. I don't think it's in there, actually. These are mine. Okay. All right. Where are we going to put this? So I'm going to figure it out before I think actually down here toward the... Yeah, I'm going to do it right about there. Memories. I'm looking here real quick to see. Let's see here. I have a few. Oh, I have glue on the scissors. I'm like, why aren't these wanting to cut right? And this is out of the kit as well, this page. So like I said, if you want the kit, it's already available in her shop. I believe it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lena, but I think this is already available in your shop, right, honey? And I haven't gone into Etsy in a minute and shopped because I didn't have a printer, and, you know. Okay. I like that. I was thinking this would be pretty, like up at the top over here. Yeah, this, other than probably my the paper dolls and pictures like this, the design team project I do is going to be the book or journal or folio, whichever I do decide. I'm leaning like almost 90% toward folio, but whatever I do end up deciding, that book will have all of Lena's kit. It will be centered totally around her Valentine's kits, and yeah, I'm excited. Plus I get to work more in the pinks and reds and stuff, which is always just, you know, I haven't done it in a minute, but it always tends to be my favorite. Like, this glue is really getting on my nerves. Do you see that? It's not wanting to flow for whatever reason. Come on. Okay. Please. Yeah, it's not wanting to come out. Okay, I'm going to use the other glue. Wow. Everything's been just fine up until now. Let's get this one flowing, shall we? There we go. Just use some Fabri-Tac. There. All right. Love. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I am peeking over here at my kit. I printed everything out, but then I haven't cut everything out. So I'm kind of trying to, I think for right now I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to finish it. There's going to be more to it than this, but right now that's where it's at. When you guys see it on the front cover, it'll probably have more goodies on it. I do think, what time is it? Oops, and I need to plug the phone in. I just realized it's about to die. Okay, we've gone over, so I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye for now. If I can get this plugged in. There we go. Oh my goodness, you guys, I was at 1%, honestly. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you like Lena's beautiful kit. And like I said, this will get fleshed out a little bit more. I'm not quite done with it, but we have reached the end of our video. So anyway, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like I did 5. No, 6. Yeah, I got 6 done. Not bad, not bad. So anyway, if you guys liked them, let me know. And if you try them, let me see them on our Facebook group, which you can find at Creatives Inspired Corner. And there is a link to that in the About section of the channel. Also a link to my Etsy shop and a link to many other people's Etsy shops that I have mentioned. And so I hope you guys have a wonderful day tomorrow and that you're blessed and that you get some crafting done. And I love you very much. Thank you so much for letting me be transparent and share with you the things that I get to share with you guys. I love you so much. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.